I'm going to talk about Starcraft 2 OSC Championship 5 with a prize pool over $10,000 while drinking Pepsi limited edition 1980s. So this Pepsi was made in 1980s. At some point it was discontinued, and currently in 2018, which is today, I'm drinking a different kind of Pepsi, which I will show you at some point. Now, this Pepsi, as you can see, has a different label than the one that's today. I don't have today's Pepsi to show the difference, but it's bluish, very bluish, while this one is a bit more colorful. And it's time to open this. Here you can take a look at the sign that it is limited edition. And now it's time to pour the glass. Done. It's not bad. I don't have today's Pepsi to compare the taste, but it certainly doesn't taste bad at all. I wouldn't even know why they changed the taste in the first place. But I'm sure you may browse the internet and check it out. Let me fill up the glass. And now I'll start talking about the championship. So the organizer is OSC SC2 Online and SC2 Online. And we have a few sponsors here: Macherino, Razer, Storm Gaming, and Blizzard. The server is Americas. It's an online tournament, so it's not an offline tournament, which means that players don't have to go to a specific location to play. They only need a computer that can run the game smoothly. They need an internet connection and time. The start date is 2018 January 4th and the end date is 2018 January 14th. Format is 1 versus 1. There's group stages, direct elimination group stage, double elimination, and the brackets. So it's actually a season type tournament that kind of is derived from the players that played previously in the season. So I'm going to read a bit more about this. The Online Sports Championships, or OSC, is an online global league for Starcraft 2 and other games. The league follows a yearly season format where players earn points for placing highly in all partner tournaments, along with points acquired through bonuses and challenge matches. These points and player data act to form the OSC World Rankings and the seeding system. At the end of the yearly season, the top 50 players ranked via the OSC World Rankings are invited to play in the revered OSC Finals. where we determine our yearly champions. Every player who placed in the finals gets paid. We have designed the finals format which rewards the players who finish highly in the world rankings, as they have shown a combination of results and regular participation throughout the year, and deserve rewards for their efforts. This seeding and competition for position within the rankings is highly important. So first of all, we have the season that ends in December 21st, 2017. That's the 5th season. The season 5 finals will take place from January 4 to January 14, which is what I'm going to talk about more precisely. Top 50 ranked players from all OSC partner tournaments in 2017 will be invited. In the event of the tie on points, the player with the most scalp points will be awarded the higher seed. Now the group format. Ranks 27 to 50 will be seeded into 4 round-robin best-of-2 groups. Top 3 from each group advance to the group playoffs. Group playoffs format. The group playoffs will be best of 5. The 6 winners of the 6 matches will move on to face the 21st, 26th seeds in the main bracket. Bracket format. Ranks 1st to 8th will be seeded in winners bracket according to the rankings. Ranks 9th to 20th will be seeded in the winners bracket round 1. Ranks 21st, 26th will be seeded in the losers bracket round 1. Winners of the group playoffs will join the top 26 in the bracket stage. Winners bracket matches are best of 3 in rounds 1 plus 2, best of 5 from round 3 onwards. Losers bracket matches are best of 5. Grand finals. First series best of 5, second series best of 5 if required. The map pool. Abyssal Reef, Ascension to Ire, Battle on the Boardwalk, Blackpink, Catalyst, Neon Violet Square, Odyssey. Prize pool. First place gets $2,000, second place gets $1,000, third place gets $800, and the fourth place gets $500. And as previously described, there are 2 brackets, the winners bracket and the losers bracket. Eventually, these will face each other. So the finalist from the winners bracket and the finalist from the losers bracket will face each other in the grand finals, which is best of 7. There's also going to be losers finals, so the ones that lost the winners bracket or the losers bracket will face in the losers final to determine the third place. So I'm going to start with the winners bracket. Here we see 2 Australians, Sather and Probe. Sather plays as a Terran and Probe plays as Protoss. 2-1 Sather wins and moves on to the round 2. Next match, 2 South Koreans, 2 Zergs, True versus Solar. 2-1 Solar wins and moves on to the round 2. A Canadian Semper Terran versus Norwegian Snoot Zerg. 2-0 Snoot wins and moves on to the second round. Polish Terran Soul versus American Terran Future. 2-1 American Terran Future wins and moves on to the second round. Chinese Chick Terran versus Ukrainian Bly Zerg. 2-0 Ukrainian Bly Zerg wins and moves on to the second round. Polish Terran. Oh no, sorry, that wasn't Polish. That was a Singaporean, or a player from Singapore. Sorry, he's playing as a Terran versus Australian Zerg Iagus. 2-0 Australian Zerg Iagus wins and goes to the second round. In the second round we have Namshar versus Sathar, Solar versus Snoot, Future versus Bly, and Nice versus Iagus. It looks like Namshar and Nice have been added to the round 2 from somewhere else. Maybe they performed very well in the league, I'm not sure, but they certainly were not playing in the first round. So, Namshar, Swedish player, that's playing Zerg versus a Terran from Australia, Sather. 3-0 Namshar wins. Solar, South Korean versus Snoot from Norway. Both Zerg players. 3-0 Snoot wins. American player Future, that's playing Terran versus Ukrainian Zerg Bly. 3-0 Ukrainian Zerg wins and moves on to the third round. Taiwanese player Nice versus Australian Iagus. That's Protoss versus Zerg, and the Protoss player Nice wins 3-0 and moves on to the third round. In the third round we get Mia Moika versus Namshar. Mia Moika was added to the third round and has not played in the first round or the second round. Then we have Scarlet versus Snoot. Scarlet, as well as previous player Mia Moika, has been added to the third round without playing at the first or third. Then we have Neeb versus Bly. Neeb as well has been added to the third round. And we get Starkiller versus Nice. Starkiller, just like the previous three players mentioned, has been added to the third round and has not played in the first two rounds to qualify for the third round. The results. In the first round of the first third round match, two Zerg players, Mia Moika versus Namshar. Mia Moika is a Vietnamese player and he has been defeated by the Swedish player Namshar 3-0. Then we have Canadian player Scarlet versus Norwegian Snoot. 3-0 Scarlet wins. The American player Neeb, who's playing Protoss, has won against a Ukrainian player Bly 3-0. Bly plays a Zerg. In the previous match, Scarlet versus Snoot, both players were Zerg. And in the first match, both players were Zerg as well. Just in case you kind of missed this. Now the final match of the third round. American player Starkiller lost with his Zerg race against Taiwanese player. Nice. Who plays us brought us 3-0. And he moves on to the round of 4. In the round of 4 we see Namshar versus Scarlet and Neeb versus Nice. In the first encounter we see two Zerg players, Namshar from Sweden and Scarlet from Canada. 3-2 Scarlet wins and moves on to the round of 5. In the second match, Neeb, the American player, versus Taiwanese player Nice, both are Protoss, and Neeb has won 3-1 to move on to the round of 5. Here we have two matches, not one. Cham versus Scarlet. Cham has been added to the 5th round. He is from Mexico and he plays Zerg. In the second match there's Demi versus Neeb. Demi is from India and is playing Zerg, has been added to the 5th round. In the first match, Cham versus Scarlet, 3-0 Scarlet won and moved on to the final bracket. And the second match, Neeb versus Demi. Neeb has won 3-0 and moved on to the winners bracket. In the winners bracket we see a best of 5 as well, and Scarlet, Canadian player Zerg versus Neeb, American Protoss. 3-0 Neeb wins and moves on to the grand finals. Okay, so basically one interesting thing to note that I kind of missed out a bit is that even when Scarlet lost, actually she won't go playing for the 3rd place precisely. What's going to happen is she's going to play against the player that has lost the losers bracket, the losers final bracket. So it's not going to be a competition match for the 3rd place. It's going to be a match for an ability to go to the grand finals, and whoever loses that gets the 3rd place automatically. So that's an interesting twist that I kind of missed out a bit. So if you kind of realize that whoever lost right now in the final match of the winners bracket is going to play for the 3rd place, no, they're going to play for a chance to play against the grand finalists for the title itself. And the current grand finalist is Neeb. Scarlet will be playing against somebody that we'll soon find out who, for a chance to still win the cup, or she will be awarded with the 3rd place if she loses. So we know that the winners bracket grand finalist is going to be Neeb. Let's find out if a losers bracket winner is going to be grand finalist, or if the losers bracket winner is going to take the 3rd place while playing Scarlet for the 3rd place or the seed to play the grand finalist. So for Scarlet in this case, it's very kind of good because she gets a second chance to play the grand finalist. And Neve, that is in a different match setting, not for the seed to the grand finals, but for the grand finals themselves if she wins against the losers bracket winner. Now, what do we get in the losers bracket? First of all, there's going to be 7 rounds rather than 5. And so I'm going to start from the first round. It's best of 5. In previously winners bracket we got round 1 best of 3, round 2 best of 5, round 3 best of 5, round 4 best of 5, round 5 best of 5, winners bracket best of 5, and we're going to see losers final best of 5. That's where Scarlett is currently at, and grand final where currently Nib is as a best of 7. Okay, so in the losers bracket we'll see from round 1 to losers final all matches as best of 5. At least that's the information provided here. It could be slightly different. You'll never know if there's an error, but just kind of keep that in mind. The information that's currently provided here on Liquipedia.net should be correct, but everything is subject to error. Now I'm starting with the round of 1. We see first of all a Polish player, Nercio, that's playing Zerg versus a Terran player, Masa. 3-0, Nercio Zerg wins and moves on to the second round. Then a player from Peru goes by the nickname of Blord. He's a Zerg versus a player from Netherlands, goes by the nickname of Uthermal. 3-0, the Terran Uthermal wins against Blord and moves on to the second round. Then we see Cyan or Cyan, he's from China. Not sure how to correctly pronounce it because it's a Chinese player, so C may not really be K to a Chinese in this word. It may just be C or S or K, whatever. It's called Cyan or Cyan. It's kind of left for you to find out because I'm not going to be able to do that. He's going to face a South Korean player, Hero. Both of these are Protoss players, and 3-0 Hero wins, moves on to the second round. Furthermore, Siegfried, were American Protoss versus South Korean Terran Bayern. 3-0 Bayern wins. Then American Zerg Game Time versus South Korean Zerg Impact. 3-1 South Korean Zerg Impact wins. Australian Azure Terran versus a Italian Zerg Raynar. 3-0 Raynar wins. Now in the second round I have Sather versus Future. Sather has been added to the second round. True versus Nercio. True has been added. Previously, Sather and Future both have been added to the second round. They have not played in the first round. However, Sather did play in the second round of winners bracket. So it looks like Sather, after losing in the winners bracket second round, moved on to the losers bracket second round. So there is always going to be, it seems, a chance for some of the players to get back and win the cup. Then we see Soul versus Euthermal. Soul has been added. Illusory versus Hero. Illusory has been added. Probe versus Bayan. Probe has been added. And Semper versus Impact. Semper has been added to the second round. Chick versus Raynar. Chick has been added to the second round. And Solar versus Iagus. Both of these players have been added to the second round. In the first match of the second round, losers bracket, 2 Terran players. The first, Australian Sather. The second, American Future. 3-0 American Future has won. South Korean Zerg True versus Polish Zerg Nerchio. 3-2 South Korean Zerg wins. Polish Terran Soul versus Netherlands Terran Euthermal. 3-0 Euthermal wins. A player from Singapore, Illusory, that's playing Terran, versus South Korean Protoss Hero. Hero wins 3-0. Australian Protoss Probe versus South Korean Terran Bayan. 3-0 South Korean Terran wins. A Canadian Terran Semper versus South Korean player Impact. 3-2 South Korean player Impact, that's playing Zerg, has won. A Chinese Chick versus Italian Raynar. Raynar is a Zerg player while Chick is a Terran player. 3-1 Raynar wins. Solar versus Iagus. That's South Korea versus Australia. Both of these are Zerg players. 3-0 South Korean Solar has won and moved on to the third round. In the third round we have Future versus True, Euthermal versus Hero, Bayan versus Impact, Raynar versus Solar. In the first encounter, American Future versus South Korean True. 3-1 South Korean Zerg player has won over American Terran player. 3-1. And moves on to the fourth round. Protoss South Korean Hero versus Terran Netherlands Euthermal. 3-2 Hero wins. 2 South Korean players, Bayan versus Zerg Impact. 3-0 Bayan wins and moves on to the fourth round. Raynar, that's from Italy, versus Solar, who's from South Korea. 3-0. Solar Zerg bested Raynar. Zerg as well. In the fourth round, we'll see Starkiller versus True. Starkiller has been added to the fourth round. Bly versus Hero. Bly has been added to the fourth round. Snoot versus Bayan. Snoot has been added to the fourth round. And Mia Moika versus Solar. No, that's Mia Maika. He's from Vietnam versus Solar. It looks like these players, Mia, Maika, Snoot, Bly, and Starkiller, all of them have been the losers in the winners bracket round 3. And they all are getting a second chance in the losers round 4 losers bracket. So let's see how they have performed. In the first match, American Starkiller versus South Korean True. 3-1, Zerg versus Zerg. South Korean True has won. In the second match, Ukrainian Bly Zerg versus South Korean Hero Protoss. 3-2, Hero has won. Norwegian Snoot Zerg player versus South Korean Terran Bayan. 3-0, Snoot wins. Vietnamese player Zerg Mia Moika. It looks like pizza is here.